So next book I'm going to do, and this is my book of the week, Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants, #2. This is still in that whole Sins of Sinister thing they got going on right now. Yeah. This is actually a fast forward 100 years in the future from the last book that happened. So Storm is an old lady now. It's like Star Wars. You know that crawl at the beginning? Time for galactic war. I'm gonna just give you a brief notes of this. What happened? Basically, 100 years in the future, the Brotherhood is still fighting the good fight against the Sinister Quiet Council. Meanwhile, they got information from the Freedom Force how to beat the Sinister guys, but of course, everybody in the Freedom Force died to give them that information. Many Bothans died, but our heroes will go to whatever. Anyway. Just like in any Star Wars movie, you'd be surprised how many people don't notice it's a Star Wars movie. Every Star Wars movie, after the credit, it always pans down to a planet background and a spaceship. Watch it. Any Star Wars movie, all of them start the exact same way, except for Rogue One, I think, and Solo. But the rest of them, yeah. Anyway, somebody's coming to the ship. They come into the Racco ship. I can't remember what the ship is called. They were like, who's coming to the ship? They put a passcode in, but the passcode doesn't match up. They were like, tell you what. Do the cycle for tomorrow and see if the passcode matches up. They do the cycle for tomorrow's passcode. Like, yeah, it matches up. What the hell? They're like, it's her. Let her in. Like, okay. And turns out it is Destiny. Because Destiny, of course, knows the passcodes for tomorrow. So that's why they know it's her and not some kind of imposter. So she goes there and she's basically telling them, yeah, I'm here. I want to talk to the witch. Don't you mean goddess? You're like, don't start this shit. Don't be like Exodus with Hope. And she like, who are you? Are you X-Man or are you Cable? And aren't you upset that your daughter died? You're like, everybody got people that died. You're like, what about my people? And then she gets pissed off. And basically, that whole Freedom Force thing, Mystique led that team. So she was one of the many Bothans that died to give that information. Plus Hercules and Kid Nova and whoever the hell it is back there, Blob, I think, anyway, like that. And she's crying. She's basically like, I need to speak to Storm to get this done. And that's when Storm comes out and she's like, why are you here? What the hell do you want? So Storm is like 100 and something years old at this point, just been fighting the war, and she has her own army and commander of Brotherhood. They all over the place like that. And basically what Destiny is here for, she basically look, last time we met 100 years ago, I gave you some false information because Mystique and I had our own agenda. But now Mystique died giving you some information. Everything I'm about to tell you is true. So I know how to stop them. I know where the Sinisters are going to be. We can beat them. If we team up together, we can take them down once for all. But what we need to do this time is kill Moria for real. And like, okay, well, let's do it. So yeah, that's the start of the story. So they get into their ship, their rebel ship, and they call them the rebels in this. So they get in their rebel ship.
The blockade runner.
The blockade runner. That's what it looks like. And she's just like, okay, we're almost in the vicinity of the Sinister Empire or whatever. I need all my fighters to sign off. And that's when you got them signing off. Red leader standing by. Gold leader standing by. Blue leader standing by. All in there. They're ex-fighters, So then they shoot off. So they only 3 fighters. 3 fighters in the big, ugly blockade ship that's right there. And they are going against that. Not the Death Star, the Death Sphere.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the Death Sphere. So what is the Death Sphere? So like I said, with last book we talked about, Nathaniel Essex, when he died, cloned himself 4 times. Mr. Sinister is just one of the 4 clones. The other clone is Orbis Stellaris. So he controls the Death Sphere. And what the Death Sphere is holding, the Memoria clones are inside in the center of the Death Sphere. So if they can get into the center of the Death Sphere and blow up the thing that's holding the Memoria, they win. Everything blows up and that's it. So that's the whole plan. But they only have 3 ships, and basically like he's trying to get scrolls. He's just like, Orbis Stellaris, it's a level orange. What are we doing right now? And they're like, the rebel scum are trying to take over our base. You're like, well, it's just 3 of them. Don't bring out the big guns. Send a few fighters.
Evacuate in a moment of triumph.
That's basically what he says.
I think you overestimate their chances.
So he said, instead of sending my big guns, send the fighters. And how many fighters? Send all of them. So they send all of the fighters to him. Like, I guess like 300 fighting, because basically they said the odds are 3-1, and like, don't tell me the odds, some shit like that. Or 100-1. That's what the odds are. So basically, they got to fight 300 fighters versus 3 of them, or it might be even 400. Might be 400 fighters. So how are they going to fight 400 fighters with just 4 ships? So what they did, apparently, one of the Brotherhood members named Cora, she has the power to like amplify mutant powers. So what she does is that she amplifies Destiny's fortune-telling powers. While she's amplifying Destiny's fortune-telling powers, she also amplifies Cable's powers. So now, since Cable's like the X-Men's best strategist, you have fortune-telling powers with strategy powers. And so then they can tell the future on how to navigate and bypass all these guys. So that's what they do. So that's how they're able to dodge 400 fighter ships, because they know what they're going to fight. Getting through everybody, they can't get hit. And the Skrull leader's just like, how the hell are they dodging all our fight? It's just 4 of them. How are they doing this shit? And she's like, they got to be some kind of plan. They can't be this dumb to rush us down like this. And they must have Destiny on their side. It's not luck. So he's like, so what are they planning? What are they planning to do? He like, and he realized what they're planning. Oh shit, the fighter exhaust port. And she was like, well, yeah, you told me to send all the fighters. You dumbass, close the port before they find a way in, because that's their way into the sphere. So they're like, close it now. And as soon as they get ready to close it, they're able to get in there. So now they're able to get in there since Obus Stellaris sent every single ship out there. Now the center of the Death Sphere is defenseless. So now they're sitting there looking at, the Moria machine right there. And they're like, all we got to do is just send a black hole torpedo in it right now. We blow this bitch up and that's it. Of course, we'll die too, but I mean, that will end the universe. It don't really matter. She's just like, She's like, do it. And she's like, thank you, Storm. And right before Destiny can finish her sentence, she gets sliced in half by one of Storm's assassins. And she was like, that's what she meant by do it, not blow up the Moria machine, kill Destiny. Because Storm actually doesn't want to end this universe. She wants to keep it going. So she was like, don't shoot it. Don't put it down. We're going to protect the Moria.
Old lady.
That's Old Lady Storm. Yeah. So Old Lady Storm is just like, don't blow up the Moria machine. We're going to protect the Moria machine. And Cable's like, okay, yeah, that's cool and fine and stuff like that. But how you expect to get out of this sphere, the Death Sphere? Because we're trapped in here right now. And the moment they open that port back up, they're going to send every single fighter they got in there on us. And we're going to be fish in a barrel. We got nowhere to go. They're like, oh, we got somewhere to go. Don't worry about that. I planned for this. And plus, you killed our best strategist with Destiny. So we can't even see the future on how to get out of here. So like, don't worry, I got that. So Core, you got any juice left, or did you give Destiny all your power? Like, no, I got a little bit left. It's like, okay, hit me with it. And that's when Storm, like, okay, they called me an old witch for a reason. So remember back in that Ta-Nehisi Coast Black Panther run, when it was theorized that Storm might be like a Orisha, like an ancient god, like, but just walking. Well, apparently she like prays to the Orisha, and she carries up enough power of her own, because she's like, I am an Omega level mutant, but now even Omega levels have their limits. But now it's time to go past my limit. In Aurora's name, she creates a wormhole and teleports them and the Moria machine out of there with her storm powers. So let the wormhole open, and they just suck everybody out of there, and they go to like the edge of the universe. So they're out of there. So when all the people come back in there to like defend the Moria machine, it's gone. And like, sir, there's nothing we can do. And Orbis Stellaris is just like, oh, there's something we can do in life support. So basically, he kills everybody on his ship. I mean, while they're looking at it, and then you know what we're going to do? We're just going to set up a base on there. So, and we're going to get more rebels, and we're going to have the good fight, and we're going to let them know that we have a good chance of beating back the Sinisters. And like, let's celebrate with Storm. And how's she doing? And Cora's just crying like she can't hear you. She's with the ancestors. Storm calls up so much power it killed her, creating a wormhole. The end. Damn. So yeah. So the next book of Storm and the Brotherhood is going to be 1,000 years in the future. So now how that happened, I don't know where they're going to go with that story. So yeah, honestly, I was loving the story. You got X-Men, you got Star Wars. Just put it in my veins. Just put it in my veins right there. That's all like that. So yes, I'm going to rate this book a 6.5 out of 5. Oh, what do we got here?
Check out, he loved it. Cliff loved it.
What, Cliff? You didn't? Come on, Cliff. You didn't love this? This is awesome, man. I'm sorry. Flies the Blackbird and Star Destroyer. Flies the Blackbird and Star Destroyer. So yeah. Like I said, you got Storm creating a black hole with her X-Men powers. Come on, man. That's awesome. And they just retold Star Wars. Like, just for the fuck of it. So,